Welcome again, guys, once again to GA4 Acceleration Program. My name is Kobal Raghavan, and together with me today is Shaman Yo. As Shaman mentioned, we're really glad to see some familiar faces again, and I thank you for joining us in this webinar series throughout. So as you guys know, this 5-part webinar series will continue until end of October. We're actually closing in towards the end. We just have one more webinar after this one. And I also strongly believe most of you are aware on the one-on-one office hours as well. Feel free to scan the QR code for any additional support that you might need. Right, so for today's topic, we'll be talking about Ad Manager and GA4, Reader Revenue and Ads Revenue. So we'll cover analyzing content performance, understanding reader journeys, leveraging insights to boost reader retention and ads revenue. So you learn how to track and analyze ad placements and optimize revenue strategies using data-driven insights. So as usual, let's do some housekeeping items to ensure smooth and productive webinar. So firstly, please have your GA4 Ads Manager and AdSense this time open to in order to able to follow along the webinar, because later today, Shaman will be going through all this. And as usual, feel free to ask questions. You can just type in your questions in the chat box and we will address all the questions during the live Q&A section at the end of the session. Also, if you have any bit of the demo that you wish to recap later on at the end of our session, you can feel free to share it via chat while the demo is going on. So later at the end, when we look at it, we can go through it and give a quick recap on that. Also, kindly note that the session is being recorded, and the recording along with any materials presented today will be available on the program website after the webinar. Right. As usual, let's start with the quote of the day. Diversification is key to ensure you wouldn't sit on a one-leg stool. So don't rely on one income stream. So think of it like this. Sitting on one-leg stool is like really risky. If that legs give away, you end up falling, right? So it's the same with income. Relying on just one revenue stream puts you in a very fragile position. So by diversifying, adding more legs to your stool, you make your income streams more stable and secure, whether it's through ads, subscription, or other sources. Spreading out your income helps reduce risk and keeps your business steady. So in today's session, we'll explore how to diversify your revenue streams and make sure you're building a strong, stable foundation for growth. So there are typically two primary streams of revenue for publishers. We have readers revenue and ads revenue. So let's start with readers revenue. This is the income that comes directly from your readers. It could be through things like subscriptions or paywalls. For instance, a paywall is essentially a barrier that restricts access to certain content unless the reader subscribes for a pay or pays fee, right? So it can come in different forms, like hard paywall, which completely blocks access until payment is made, or a soft paywall, where the user can access a limited amount of content for free before being prompted to pay. So think about a scenario where readers get to view only 5 free articles per month, and after that, they need to subscribe for full access. So on the other side, we have ad revenue. This is income generated through advertisements displayed on your platform. This could be in the form of banners, videos, or sponsored content that appear on your website. So publishers usually earn this revenue through a few different models, like cost per impression. This is where you are paid based on number of times an ad is shown to a user. We have cost per click. This one is when the revenue is generated when a user clicks on an ad. And also, finally, we have cost per acquisition. So this model pays you when a user completes a specific action after interacting with an ad, like making purchase or signing up for a service. So both revenue streams are crucial for balancing the financial ecosystem of any publishers, and diversification between readers and ad revenue can help ensure stability and growth. Right. So we have shared a lot about how you can go about activating your audience created in GA4 before in our previous webinars. And in order to run your ads and to drive traffic to your site, you'll first need to link GA4 and Google Ads together. Now, how many of you have already connected to it? Like, could you like probably give me a thumbs up so I know how many of you have already connected ads to GA4 right now? Okay, that's great. Right. Okay. All right. So for those who have linked, that's really great. But for those who haven't, the next couple slides is for you guys. So let's talk about how to link this, right? So first, we'll need to navigate to the admin tab, and under the product links, click on Google Ads link. Then you need to click on the link button as shown in the image and choose Google Ads account. So the list of the Google Ads account that your account has access to will appear here, and you can choose the Google Ads account that you wish to link the GA4 property to. So once this is done, and after you've selected the ad account which you wanted to connect, you'll be taken to the next step where a few key configuration settings needs to be enabled. So first off is personalized advertising. This should be enabled. This feature allows you to leverage the audiences you created in GA4 events to target your Google Ads campaign effectively. Next up, we have auto tagging, which is highly recommended for more accurate tracking. So by enabling this, Google Analytics can automatically tag your ads with detailed data, making ad performance attribution more accurate. So if you link to a manager account, this feature will automatically apply to all linked Google Ads account. So on the flip side, using manual tagging can be time consuming and may limit the scope of your data that you can track. Really recommending to enable this. Finally, we have allow access to analytics features within Google Ads. So please enable this as well. So by doing this, you'll unlock embedded analytics feature like the audience builder and other metrics within Google Ads. And this gives you more tools to optimize your campaigns. So once you've configured these settings, click next and you'll be able to review everything before you hit submit. Right. So to ensure a smooth linking process between your Google Ads and GA4 accounts, there are a few important things that you need to keep in mind. First up is access level. Make sure that you have the right access, either as an administrator or editor, to the property you want to link. So without the proper permissions, you won't be able to complete the process. So remember to have the right access level. And the second one will be the data availability. Once you've linked your Google Ads account, the data will start flowing into your GA4 reports within 48 hours. So it does take some time, so just hang in there. But yeah, this allows for quick analysis and optimization for your campaigns. Third will be audience size difference. You might notice a difference between audience sizes in GA4 compared to Google Ads. This happens because the ID from GA4 are not immediately pushed into Google Ads remarketing list until the accounts are linked. Right. Okay, let's go with our first piece of the day. I will pass it back to Shamin right now.
Thanks, Google. So thank you for sharing with us the detailed instructions as to how we can link Google Ads with GA4. So this is the first quiz of the day for webinar 4. So the question will be, why would the audience size look different in GA4 and in Google Ads? Is it A, because Google Ads exclude users in regions where personalized ads are restricted, whereas GA4 shows all users? B, Google Ads data is available immediately after linking, whereas GA4 takes 48 hours to update. C, oh wait, I realized I haven't launched it. Let me quickly launch it. C, GA4 includes only users who have clicked on the ad, whereas Google Ads only includes all users. And then D, GA4 processes data faster than Google Ads. So why? Because we have a lot of clients, our clients will usually ask, oh, why is the size in GA4 so different from what I see in Google Ads. And then they'll definitely question why sometimes there's a bigger disparity, sometimes it's pretty close. So maybe think about why you think, the answer would be where the audience size look different in GA4 and Google Ads. I believe Google briefly mentioned it earlier today. So maybe try and either think back of what he has covered, or, okay, I see people answering B's and C's. I give everyone a couple more minutes. Okay, now I see some people choosing D. Any more votes? I'll try and think about what is it that is required for you to use the data that you collect to activate the data that you collect in Google Ads. All right. I'll give it a few more seconds. Any more answers from from you guys? All right, then I'll proceed to end the poll. Okay, so unfortunately, everyone did not get an answer. The answer is actually A. Google Ads exclude users in regions where personalized ads are restricted, whereas GA4 shows all users, right? So it depends on the consent that the users has given. So let's say if the user declines to use their data for remarketing purposes, this is where the discrepancy will be shown between GA4 and Google Ads. So GA4 will show all the users that fit the conditions that you set in GA4, right? So for example, if you create an audience that maybe have more than 2 page views and have for example, click on a certain button for when you define this audience. And then when you export, or rather when you try and see the audience size in Google Ads, you can see that there's a discrepancy. So all the users that fit the bid is captured in GA4 in terms of user count. But then in Google Ads, if let's say they did not consent to use their data for remarketing and so on and so forth, that's where you see that there's less data, or the audience size is lesser in Google Ads. That's why you see that there's a difference in audience size between GA4 and Google Ads. Okay, I hope the explanation is clear. If not, if you have any other further questions, feel free to, drop your questions in the chat box, and we'll address it at the end of the session. If not, I'll hand over the time back to Kogo.
Thank you so much, Sherwin. Okay, let's move on to ad revenue monetization solutions. So Google offers 3 key solutions to help publishers monetize their contents. So there is AdSense, Ad Manager, and AdMob. So these products are tailored to different types of publishers depending on their scale, needs, and how they wish to manage their advertising. So first off, let's talk about Google AdSense. Google AdSense is best suited for small publishers or creators who don't have a dedicated team for managing ads. It provides an easy and automated way to serve ads on your site, handling everything from ad placement to managing ad demand. So think of it as a plug and play option. You can place a code snippet on your website and Google does the heavy lifting. So it's perfect for those who wants to monetize quickly without diving into the complexity of ad management. So next up, we have Google Ad Manager. This is a more robust, comprehensive ad manager platform designed for larger publishers with higher traffic. So Ad Manager gives you more control over both direct sales and programmatic ads. So it allows you to run sophisticated ad campaigns and maximize your revenue through precise targeting and optimization. So for publishers dealing with multiple ad networks, Ad Manager is an ideal solution as it integrates seamlessly with other exchanges and platforms. So lastly, there's Google AdMob. This is designed for app developers, and it helps you monetize your mobile apps by showing ads within the app itself, allowing you to earn revenue for each ad impression or clicks. So if you ever played a mobile game and seen an ad pop up between levels, that's actually AdMob in action. So AdMob is optimized for in-app experiences. So if you're a mobile developer, this tool gives you insights into app performance and helps you grow revenue effectively. Right, let's further break down the differences between Google AdSense and Google Ad Manager. So you can see which better suited for your needs, right? So first up, let's talk about Google AdSense. So in this platform, it is, as mentioned before, perfect for smaller website or individual publishers. It's all about simplicity and ease of use. So you don't have to worry too much about customizing because Google automates the whole process. So you can have ads up and running within just few clicks. So AdSense is great if you want to monetize quickly, and it supports basic ad types like display ads, text, and rich media. So the reporting is simplified too, so you can track performance easily. Plus, it's super easy to integrate. So if you're starting out and want no fuss solution, AdSense is the way to go. Now, if you're dealing with a larger volume of traffic or want more control, then Google Ad Manager is your go-to. It's a powerful platform designed to for publishers with more complex needs. So you have full control over where ads are placed, how they are targeted, and it supports wider variety of ad types, including programmatic ads and video ads. Plus, with advanced reporting and analytics, you can really dive deep into performance and optimize your ad strategies. So what's the catch here, right? The catch is it's a bit more complex to set up, but if you need customization and flexibility, Ad Manager gives you just that. So in short, AdSense is the simple hands-off solution for small publishers, whereas Ad Manager is for those who needs control and customization for high traffic sites. Right. Let's go to the second piece of the day. Over to you, Shaman.
All right, thank you, Koga, for sharing with us the different ad platforms that is available for publishers. So I'm gonna quickly launch the second quiz of the day, and then the question will be: which tool provides advanced ad management features and allows publishers to manage both direct ad sales and programmatic ads across multiple networks? So I think maybe I can highlight the main part of the question that would direct you to the right answer. Maybe you can focus on managing both direct ad sales and programmatic ads. Yeah, so is it A, Google Ad Manager, B, Google AdSense, or C, Google AdMob? Okay, I see that there has been a vote casted. May I give everyone a few more seconds to think about what the right answer is? Remember to focus on the question specifying to be able to manage both direct ad sales and programmatic ads. Okay, I see more votes coming in. Maybe I'll give a few more seconds for people, just deliberating between the few options that you have. Okay. Come down to the last 10 seconds. Any more answers coming in? All right, I'm gonna proceed to end the poll. So yes, the answer is Google Ad Manager. So like what Koga has shared, Google Ad Manager is better for larger publishers where you can have the option to do or show ads from the ads that you get from direct ad sales. And then at the same time, if you don't have much direct ad sales, you still have the options to use programmatic ads. Okay, so then I'll proceed on to continue the content for webinar 4. So after you link your Google Ads with GA4, right now you are thinking of your second revenue stream, which is your ad revenue stream. And in order to do that, you need to integrate your Google Ad Manager with GA4. So to link Google Ad Manager to GA4, it's slightly trickier because you don't do it directly from GA4 itself. So this is how what you have to do to link Google Ad Manager to GA4. So you have to go through the Google Ad Manager platform itself to do the linking. So if you have your Google Ad Manager open with you, or if you have Google Ad Manager, it'll be good if you have it open in case you haven't linked Google Ad Manager to GA4. So this would be the instructions that you will get. It's also applicable for those the publishers. If let's say you weren't the one that you wasn't the one that linked Google Ad Manager to GA4, you can also tune into this just to good to have knowledge in the future, so you can link your Google Ad Manager to GA4 in the case you have to do it in the future. So if you have it open already, that's great. So first you have to navigate to the left column in the admin tab. Under admin, there will be a linked accounts option that you can select. And after you select, you'll be navigated to a page that shows you Google Analytics for property links. So if you haven't already linked any account, you can select new property linked. And after you click on the new property linked, you'll be navigated to a page where you will be able to see a list of GA4 properties that your account have access to. And once you have the list of accounts, you can just select the GA4 properties that you wish to link Google Ads Manager to, and then click Save. Okay, so I hope these steps are easy to follow. Let me know if anyone needs some time to do the linking if you are linking it now. If not, I'll give a few seconds, have some glance through of the instructions as to how you can link Google Ad Manager to GA4. All right, all good? All right, so I'll move on to the next page where you'll see. So after you have successfully linked Google Ad Manager to GA4, and then you can navigate to your product link page where you'll be able to see the Ad Manager link selection. So when you click onto it, you'll be navigated to this page. So once you have done the linking, you will be able to see the Google Ad Manager account that is linked to your GA4 property. Okay, so this is just a check just to make sure that you have linked the right Google Ad Manager account to the selected GA4 property. Okay, so now second one, Google AdSense. If let's say you are just doing full running full programmatic ads on your website, so how you can go about linking Google AdSense is it's pretty similar to how you link Google Ads with your GA4 property. So you can navigate to the left side of the interface, select admin, and under admin there is a list of product links and then you can select Google AdSense links. And after you have select or click onto Google AdSense link, you can click onto link, and then a whole list of Google AdSense publisher accounts that you have. You can just choose from there, and then once you have chosen it, click onto next, and then you'll be able to link the Google AdSense account accordingly. Okay, so this is the prerequisite sites that you have to take note or if you are doing the linking of Google Ad Manager or a Google AdSense account to your GA4. So in order to create or delete Ad Manager links or AdSense link, you need to be at least you have to have administrator level access in Ad Manager and at least have the editor role in analytics in GA4. So meaning to say if you have editor role or administrator role in GA4, perfect. And you need to have administrator role in Google Ad Manager. So similar to Google Ads, after you link the Google Ad Manager account to GA4, just allow maybe up to 48 hours for the data to flow into your GA4 property. Okay, and then the last thing that you need to make sure is to be able to see Google Ad Manager reports in analytics itself. You will need to tag you need to tag your website with Google Publisher tags to get all the information. Okay, so maybe I'll take a pause here. Just a show of hands. Have just a sense check, have everyone managed to link your Google Ad Manager account to your GA4 or Google AdSense account to your GA4? Be it, prior to this session or even during this session, just let us know if you managed to do so already. Anyone? Oh, thanks, Susie. Yep, great. Because I noticed that you also linked your Google Ads account to GA4 prior to the session as well. So great, you have all the platforms linked to your GA4 property. Great. Anyone else? No one? Okay, so I hope the set of instructions that we have gone through, it's clear enough for you to follow. But in the case you weren't able to follow due to some, role restriction, or you don't have the right access level, no worries. You'll still be able to refer back to the instructions under the, the Google GA4 Accelerator Program resource. We will also be dropping the link. You can refer to the link at the end of the session, just so you have the link or the URL to go to the webinar resource page for you to look back at all the resources that all the content that we have gone through before. All right, so now we're into our last and final quiz of the day. So which platform allows you to monetize through in-app ads and provide tools for growing your ad business? So is it A, Google Ad Manager, B, Google AdSense, or C, Google Ad Mob? So again, to help you to derive the right answer, maybe you can focus on the in-app ads. So which of the 3 platforms allow you to run ads in the app? So maybe I can give you some examples of how this ad mob works, because we didn't really go through how ad mob works, right? So, you can imagine if you're playing Candy Crush, right? And then after each level, you have to watch a certain ad before you can, 30 seconds or even 10 seconds before you can skip the ad. That's what Google Ad Mob does. Yeah. So I see, I actually said the answer out. But yes, I see that most of you have selected Google Ad Mobs, and yes, that's the right answer. So for you to monetize your ad or run ads on your app, you have to use Google Ad Mob. Great. So I'm glad to see that most of you guys, or all of you guys, have selected the right answer for the last quiz. So now we'll be moving on to, the reports that in GA4 after you have linked Google Ad Manager or Google AdSense to your GA4 property. So after you do the linking of Google Ad Manager or Google AdSense to your GA4, these are the dimensions and metrics that will be available by default once you have linked GAM or Google AdSense to GA4. So you have the ad format, the ad source, ad unit, page path, plus query strings, and screen class dimensions that are available. So you'll be wondering, what's ad format, what's ad source, what is ad units, right? So ad format, it will represent the type of ad format displayed. So it could be in different sizes or formats or types. So an example that you can use is maybe a leaderboard, at the top of your website. So maybe you want to understand how this ad would work or the format of the ad. And then for ad source, it will represent the platform or the network that the ads are being served. So for example, if it's a Google Ad Manager link, or the ad that you're showing is from Google Ad Manager, it will be the value that you'll see is Google Ad Manager network -ID, could be whatever or whichever Google Ad Manager account that you have linked with. So maybe the ID could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be what you'll see in the report. And then if you link AdSense, it will be Google AdSense Publisher ID, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 also. Okay, so this is what you'll see under ad source. And then ad unit, it will specify the ad unit that where it's advertised, where the advertisement appears. So it could be on the homepage at the top banner. For example, it could be this is the value, or it could be at the article page at the side banner. So it could be that value as well. So it really depends on what value you enter in, or what value you enter in your Google Ad Manager or Google AdSense. And then page path plus query strings and screen class. This is also available in your GA4 report by default. So basically, it just tells you what page the user were on or what screen the user was on. So I have also questions from publishers that ask, oh, what is screen class, right? So screen class is, screen class, it just tells you which, it's more applicable for app. So it just tells you which screen the user was on when they saw the ad. Okay. So then for metric, you have the ad unit exposure, publisher ad clicks, publisher ad impressions, and total ad revenue. So ad unit exposure tells you the amount of time that your user was exposed to the ad. And publisher ad clicks and ad impressions pretty straightforward. It just shows the number of clicks that your user, whether or not your user click into your ads, or the impression is just the number of times the user has seen your ads. And then the total ad revenue will be the total, the sum of your total ad revenue, your advertising revenue, from Ad Manager or AdSense or any other ad revenue. So this is what the list of dimension and metrics are for. And yeah, so now how can you go about after you link on Google Ad Manager and Google AdSense with GA4, there will be a report that will be created by default. So how you can go about navigating to this report is you have to click onto the advertising tab. So how you can navigate also to the leftmost column in your GA4 UI. So the leftmost, how you usually navigate to your home, your reports, and explore. There will be an advertising tab as well. So you can click onto advertising. And under advertising, there will be a list of different reports that are available under this tab. You can just select the publisher ads report. And then once you click onto the publisher ads report, you'll be navigated to this screen. So what this screen does, it shows you the 4 metrics that I have mentioned earlier, and by default, it will be ad unit. So it might be a little bit small, but maybe we zoomed out the drop-down list options that you can select in this report. So like I mentioned earlier, there are 4 dimensions that is available by default, right? Or once you link your Google Ad Manager and AdSense account to GA4. So you can either see, okay, by default it's ad unit, but you can select the different options under the when you click onto the drop-down list. So you can see your ad format, your ad source, your page path, and screen class in this report as well. So it depends on what you want to see. And then under secondary dimensions, you'll be able to select the different type of dimensions as well. So under attribution, you could be adding, for example, you want to understand what source and medium they're coming from, or what channel grouping they're coming from. So there are a lot of options. You can feel free to play with the attribution dimensions. The dimensions under attribution. And then under geography, you can have the country that the users are coming from, or even the continent or the subcontinent. So depends on what kind of report you want to pull out. You want to understand where your users are coming from, mainly coming from. You can select the country as a secondary dimension. And then under platform and devices, you can select maybe your device category. Do you want to understand whether your users are coming from your desktop, or are they just coming from your mobile web view, So you can select device category to understand where most of your users are coming from and what ads they are seeing on the different devices. If let's say you have multiple, like for example, you don't only have a website, you have your app as well, you can select your stream name. So just to see, if it's different, if there's a different behavior comparing your users on your mobile app and your website. So when I talk about performance, right? It could be, will the number of impression be affected if it's a different device, for example? If it's app, do they see the same number of ads that is expected? So it really depends on how you run, and then you can understand through by adding your secondary dimensions in this report. Okay, so we'll talk a lot about the report that is available in GA4 by default, the publisher ads report. So now we can move on to our exploration report. So if you recall previously, in the previous few webinars, we talked about the exploration report, how the exploration report gives you more flexibility because you can select different kind of dimension, more dimensions than in the default report. So if you notice earlier, okay, maybe I go back one slide. So you notice earlier, we only can add one secondary dimension in the default report. But for exploration report, you can add multiple dimensions, just to see, break down the report to a more like in greater details. So for example, you want to see more details, like you want to add your demographics along with your device category and then your publisher dimensions as well. So you can do that in your exploration report. So under the exploration report, you will be able to see these three dimensions. They will be under the publisher section to the dimensions that are tracked by default. So remember I mentioned that there are 4, but under the publisher there are 3 because the page path plus screen class dimension is already collected in the report. It's just that you can also select the dimension in your publisher ad report. So if you want to use the publisher dimensions, you can go to the publisher section and then select either your ad format, your ad source, or ad unit. So similar to the metric, to the dimension, under metrics, if you want to select publishers metric that are available by default, when you connect GAM or Google AdSense to GA4, you can select under the publisher section, you can select ad exposure, ad revenue, or ad unit exposure. Okay, so very small, but bear with me. So this is an example of how we can go about using the information or the data collected in GA4 along with the data that we are using or collected using GAM. So what I have done is that I've created an exploration report. And if you see earlier in the in the publisher ads report, right, there wasn't a dimension where I can select, for example, my age group of the users that are coming to my website. Whereas in exploration report, you can use all the different kind of dimensions that are already collecting in GA4, and then you can map it together with your dimensions that you are bringing in from Google Ad Manager. So what does this mean? So what I have done is that I have added the dimensions age, and then the age is from GA4, and then I've added the dimension ad unit. This is from Google Ad Manager. So I have combined the 2 different dimensions from 2 different platforms and analyzed the data together. So what you can see is, most of the users that I'm showing my specific ad unit to are 65 years old and above. So what does this mean? So the event that I have taken out is the ad impression and ad click. Oh yes, these 2 events, they are collected by default as well once you link Google Ad Manager to your GA4 account. So you have ad impression and ad click. So it's basically also trying to understand the number of people looking at the ads and the number of people clicking to the ads. So you can see that there's a high number or high volume of users above the age of 65 seeing your ads, but you see that there are not a lot of people clicking into your ads. So is it really valuable to show users of the age 65 and above this ad on your website because they're not clicking in, right? So you can show them, but are they interacting with your ad is another thing. So this is where you can analyze what kind of user or what kind of demographic is suitable for a certain ad. And that's how you can, you know, sell your audiences to, be it direct sales, you know, you can see which segment of audience are more valuable in terms of impressions, and then actually clicking into your ads. And then that's how you make use of the data you have collected, the audience size you have collected, and then selling it to be it your direct sales, you know, and then you can price it at different pricing when you are negotiating with your direct sales in terms of the different audiences you would like to sell. So that is for the publisher reports, right? And now we are down to our final report. So if you recall previously, what we have done is, if you recall, we mentioned something about the predictive audience, and then predictive audience can only be activated with the purchase event. So if, let's say, you have a high volume of people subscribing, you can use you can replace the subscription action with the purchase event. And then based on the different subscription plan, for example, you have 5 different subscription plans, and then the different subscription plans will be the different item name that you'll be collecting. For example, I have subscription plan 1. It could be, this user is only, for example, they are only a subscription, paying a subscription per month. And then subscription plan 2 could be a user that has signed up for the subscription plan for a year. And then subscription plan 3 could be subscription plan to, you know, subscribe to your exclusive content until they have stopped it by themselves. So they are given a different, so the pricing of these few subscription plans are different. So this is what you can see in this report. So in the case you have replaced the subscription action with the purchase journey. So the purchase event. So once you have implemented the purchase event to collect this information, you can see the item view and item added to cart is 0, right? Because you only implemented the purchase event. So you'll be able to see under your e-commerce report, under the monetization report. So under the monetization report, you will be able to navigate to the e-commerce journey, if I'm not mistaken. And then you can select into this report, and then you'll be navigated to this page. So what this report shows you, it will show you the performance of your different subscription plan and how many people are purchasing it. So this is how you can make use of the purchase event and trying to understand the different type of subscription plan that the users are more commonly subscribing to. All right. Okay, awesome. So a lot of content today, mainly to, you know, link your Google Ads and your Google Ad Manager, your Google AdSense to GA4, just to understand how your ad performance are and how you can create audience and activate them in Google Ads if you have a subscription plan. So, you know, feel free to let us know if you have any questions. Don't be shy. Just, you know, type your questions in the chat box, or if, let's say, there's anything you would like us to, you know, reiterate or go back and and explain in more details. Yeah, I can do that too. Just, you know, don't be shy to type in your wants in the chat box. Anybody? No questions?
Anyone have questions to send?
Yeah. If you have, for example, still unsure of like how to go about linking, or how, you know, maybe you want us to deep dive into how you can create more reports using Google Ad Manager. Yeah, you know, feel free to ask your questions in the chat box.
Or you can just raise your hand, don't you think, Charmaine?
Yeah, you know. Hi,
Susie, you get a gold star.
Oh, thank you. I really like that last report, the subscription plan report.
can we go through step by step how we got to that report?
Sure. Give me a second to pull out my Sandbox account.
And while Charmin is doing that, just don't forget we are still taking applications for one-to-one partner support sessions. So again, if you wanted to go into any of this in a lot more detail, we've reopened the application form for that.
Okay, so Susie, I can navigate you through how you can go about looking at the report, but my Sandbox account doesn't have any data. So if you're okay with that, I don't mind sharing my screen. Does that work here?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna quickly share my screen. Okay, so like what I mentioned earlier, it will be you can navigate to your monetization report or your sales report depending on how you have set it up. So you can click on the reports at the leftmost column, and then once you're on the reports section, you will be able to see this e-commerce purchase tab. It's either under your sales tab or it's under your monetization tab. So once you click on the e-commerce purchase, the long list of the different subscription plans will be shown over here. And then the number of purchase or the number of users who have purchased yours, the different subscription plan will be reflected over here, along with the revenue that is generated from the subscription action.
Cool.
All right. So this is also given that you have implemented the purchase journey for the purchase event for your subscription action on your website. So just make sure that you have that implemented. Along with to implement that, you definitely need to you have to ingest or rather implement a data layer push. Excuse me, a data layer push for the action once they subscribe to the subscription plan. So maybe what I can do is that I will send you this link over here. Okay, I will quickly send you this link over here. So this is a link that you can share with your developers. So this is a sample of a data layer push for that your web developers have to implement in your backend of your JavaScript code or HTML code. So once you have implemented this, so you have to follow the steps, right? So there are some data layer variables that are compulsory. So for example, your item ID, your item, give me a second, item name, and then the value, meaning to say your currency, and the value, which is the subscription plan cost. So these data layer variables have to be there when you do the data layer push in order for your GTM tag to pick up the right information, and then the values will be shown in your monetization report. So now you're going to ask me how I go about Google Tag Manager, right? This will be covered in the last session of our webinar. I understand it's gonna be the end of the month, and if you can't wait for that, or you're really interested in that, you can maybe check if your team even have the Google Tag Manager platform implemented, or you even have an existing account. And then if let's say you would like to consult us on about GTM further, you can definitely sign up for the one-on-one office hours. Then we can go through with you, especially for a unique case like yours, like you want to track a specific action on your website, yeah, we definitely can cover that during the one-on-one office hours.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Awesome. Anyone else have any questions for us? Like, thank you, Susie, for, being so brave, coming out and then turning on your screen to ask us questions. Yeah, feel free to do that because we are more than happy to address all the questions that you have. And yeah, if not, then like what Chris has mentioned, do sign up for our one-on-one office hours consultation. We have really, really good feedbacks. We have, answered multiple publishers' questions. We have a better understanding of, what different publishers would want and then how we can go about activating it. It might not be covered in the webinar per se because, it's very general webinar that is applicable to publishers, but different publishers have different wants, different needs. So this is where the one-on-one consultation comes in, and it's really, really useful, especially, like what Susie has mentioned, they want to find out more about certain platforms prior to the webinar itself. So during the final webinar, it's easier for you guys to follow the content that we are trying to, the knowledge that we're trying to pass on to you guys. All right, so if there's no further questions, maybe I'll do a little bit of wrap up. Oh, yes, Kaning. Oh, no, that's not Kaning.
Just a quick one. So I dropped the link on our chat for the one-on-one applications. And I don't know, Charmaine, if you want to show them how to do it, but you basically just go through that link and then we'll have like watch it now. I think register to watch now. Then a form will just like open, will come up, the form, and then the last question says, would you require a one-on-one consultation or something like that? So just click that, and then thank you so much. Yeah, so you can just go register to watch now, and then when you click, it will come up the form. Yeah, that's the one. And then the last question, if you say yes, then you will just get and like extra questions where you can just submit your application. So I highly recommend you guys doing that. As Sherman just said, everyone has different questions and different needs. I think shout out again for the e-commerce purchases, because that report, even though it says e-commerce, whenever you guys have like subscriptions, you can just say that those products, they are your subscriptions plan. So just go and explore there. And then if you guys need an extra help, the one-on-ones will definitely help you on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. All right, so if you have no further questions, then I'll do a mini wrap up of the session today. So what we have covered today is how... Okay, no worries, Debbie. So a summary of what we have covered today is the step-by-step guide as to how you can integrate Google Ads, Google AdSense, and Google Ad Manager to your GA4 property. And then we have also gone through the different reports that is available after you integrate the few platforms that we have linked into GA4, which is the publisher ads. And then also one special shout out, like what Liz has mentioned, which is the monetization report, the e-commerce report for the subscription plans that you would like to see in your monetization report. So like I mentioned earlier, sorry, I think there's a bit of a typo, but the next webinar will be on the Google Tag Manager configurations. So we'll go through as to how you can go about tagging the different user behaviors on your website, the different kind of events that you can trigger to a specific kind of action on your website. So all of this will be covered in our final webinar for this GA4 accelerator program. So it'll be on the 30th of October. So in the same timing of that we usually have our webinars at. And then again, don't be shy to ask your question. It doesn't have to be the webinar specific. We're more than happy to address anything that we have covered in the past webinars, or you're just wanting to ask about some analytics or even the other platforms kind of question. We are more than happy to address them. And again, this is the QR code they can scan to sign up for the one-on-one consultation. Yeah, that is it from us. Thank you so much for attending the call today. All right. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you.